Giovanna and Filippo live in a modest Roman apartment, their marriage a hollow routine. He haunts the graveyard shift at a warehouse, seniority forever out of reach. Money pinches, sex is a grudging obligation, and their two children, Martina and Alessio, seem to exist more as obligations than joys. Their arguments are small, sharp, and frequent. A missing bill, a cold dinner, a slammed door. Yet beneath the bickering, a deeper silence hums. The kind that settles when love has quietly slipped away. One gray morning, walking home under a drizzle that smells of wet asphalt and exhaust, they find an old man collapsed on the sidewalk. He is thin, elegant even in distress, his coat collar turned up against the chill. He speaks in fragments, names, places, a song from decades past, but nothing coheres. Giovanna wants to call an ambulance. Filippo, ever the fixer, insists they take him in for the night. One night, he says, as if the words can bind time. They name the stranger Simone, after the only name he can recall, and install him on the living room sofa, where he stares at the ceiling as if it were a map. Simone's arrival is a crack in the wall. He is courteous, almost courtly, but his mind is a sieve. He remembers the scent of his mother's bread, the sound of a tram in 1943, the weight of a lover's hand, then nothing. Giovanna, who has never had time for strangers, finds herself cooking for him, a plate of pasta, a glass of wine, the simplest acts of care. Filippo, meanwhile, grows restless. The man is a burden, a delay in their already overburdened lives. But the night stretches. Simone wanders the apartment, touching photographs, opening drawers, as if searching for a self that has gone missing. Across the street, in a mirrored apartment, lives Lorenzo. He is a graphic designer, single, with a laugh that startles birds from the roof. For months he and Giovanna have exchanged glances through facing windows, her silhouette in the lamplight, his in the blue glow of a computer screen. They have never spoken, yet they have built, in the privacy of their own minds, a whole theater of desire. When Simone arrives, Giovanna's routine fractures. She begins leaving her curtains open, not out of carelessness but invitation. Lorenzo notices. One evening he stands at his window, shirt unbuttoned, and raises a glass. She does not look away. The first meeting is accidental. Giovanna steps onto the balcony to smoke, a habit she has recently taken up, and Lorenzo calls across the void. "You're the one with the old man," he says. She laughs, surprised by her own ease. They talk about nothing and everything. The smell of rain on hot pavement. The way grief tastes like metal. Within days they are meeting in the street, then in a small bar where the coffee is bitter and the light is amber. Their flirtation is a current, pulling them toward a cliff neither wants to name. Lorenzo is being transferred to Milan in a week. The clock ticks louder than their heartbeat. Simone, meanwhile, is a riddle with no key. Giovanna takes his suit to the cleaners. The paper is heavy, the ink faded, but the words are urgent. "I will find you." She traces the name through archives and phone books until she locates an address in Trastevere. She goes alone, leaving Filippo to mind the children and Simone, who has begun to feel like a guest who will never leave. David Veroli is the old man. The revelation comes not in a dramatic confrontation, but in a quiet kitchen, over a cup of espresso that neither of them drinks. Davide remembers everything now, the war, the roundups, the night he chose. In 1943, as Nazi trucks rumbled through Rome's cobblestones, Davide was a young clerk in a government office. He was also gay, mocked by colleagues, invisible to his family. When he learned of the deportations, he faced a brutal calculus: warn the neighbors who despised him, or run to Simone, the only person who had ever seen him. He chose the neighbors. He killed his boss, a petty tyrant who hoarded exit visas, and used the chaos to smuggle families to safety. He saved dozens, maybe hundreds, and was later honored as a hero. But Simone was gone, hidden in a convent, and David never found him. The price of heroism was a lifetime of silence. Giovanna listens, her hands wrapped around the warm cup, and feels the weight of choices not her own. She thinks of her own life, the marriage she has neglected, the dreams she has buried under laundry and bills. He tells her about the bakery he once owned, the scent of cardamom and orange blossom. "You could still do it," he says. "Bread is patience." She laughs, but the seed is planted. Back home, Filippo is unraveling. He has always been the practical one, the one who keeps the family afloat. But Simone's presence has exposed the cracks. One night he finds Giovanna at the window, watching Lorenzo's apartment. The silence between them is a third presence, heavy and accusing. They do not speak of it. But the next morning Filippo leaves for work and does not come back until late, his eyes red from more than fatigue. Lorenzo's departure looms. On the last evening, he and Giovanna meet on the roof of her building, the city spread below them like a spilled jewel box. They kiss, fierce, desperate, tasting of salt and possibility. But dawn comes, and with it the train to Milan. They part with no promises, only the echo of their breathing. David leaves too, slipping out before sunrise, leaving behind the suit and the letter and a note that says simply, "Thank you." Giovanna finds the bakery she once dreamed of, a small place with a wood-fired oven and a sign that reads La Finestra di Fronte. She bakes bread that smells of childhood and loss. Filippo returns, humbled, and they begin to speak again, not in arguments but in questions. The children grow. Across the street, Lorenzo sends a postcard from Milan, a sketch of two windows facing each other, light pouring through. The film ends on a quiet morning. Giovanna stands at her window, flower on her hands, watching the light shift across the rooftops. Somewhere, a tram bell rings. She smiles, not because everything is resolved, but because she has remembered how to choose.